Very good morning, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Good morning,
Yes,
Ranjit.
ma'am. Good
I'm
morning.
good. Thank you.
Welcome
How are
to
you?
welcome to ISSM, ma'am. I'm doing very good, very good, ma'am.
Great. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
ma'am.
for the opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So today we have got a beautiful day here. So we are going to start the leadership lab today, ma'am. So can you start, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, guys, thank you so much for all coming here, and thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much to our director, ma'am, our chairman, sir, and our director from Hyderabad. So, everybody who has come here for this beautiful session, I would like to personally thank our founder and managing director, Dr. Pargavi, ma'am, for this beautiful day who has arranged this session. And this leadership lab, which we have been doing for the last hardly three months from the lockdown days, we have been doing this event. On every Saturday or Sunday, we are bringing a leader from the industry, and they are sharing their thought-provoking thoughts, and uh, and we are discussing it with our future leaders of ISSM, and we are making this one day as a very very beautiful day and an informative day. And today we have got a beautiful guest from Tata Consultancy Services, and I'd like to invite Gausik to give away the welcome address, and then we'll start away the session.
Thank you, sir. Good morning and welcome, everyone. I am pleased to stand before you to render the welcome speech on this beautiful occasion. First of all, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Mrs. Nagalakshmi Karthikeyan, the Assistant General Manager, Human Resource in Tata Consultancy Services. Even in her busy schedule, she has come here to motivate and guide us. We welcome you, ma'am. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our chairman, sir, Mr. Kadir Ganapathyappan, our founder and managing director, ma'am, Dr. Pargavi, and our director, sir, Mr. Rahul Ramachandran, for giving me this opportunity. I also extend my warm welcome to all who have gathered here to witness this beautiful day. Thank you so much, everyone. I would like to tell this, ma'am. I'm very big fan of Tata Group, and my dream is to get into any one of the Tata Group companies. Bless me, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon our AGM sir, Mr. Ranjit Kumar, to give brief introduction about our chief guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Gaushik, for the welcome address. And we welcome you on behalf of our ISSM Business School and the Leadership Lab, HR Club, and all those key clubs. From thank you so much for coming. And today, students, I would like to share upon a few words about our chief guest here, and I'm going to talk about our chief guest. Mrs. Nagalakshmi Karthikeyan is one of the key leaders in the HR industry, and she is the Assistant General Manager HR of Tata Consultancy Services, Chennai. And whenever I speak with Nagalakshmi ma'am with regards to this event or something else, she immediately responds to me quickly. She says, "We have to do this, like that." And she was very, very eager to participate and share her knowledge with us. And she was always ready to motivate us and guide us in all the terms. And today, even in a busy schedule, I know work from home kills today's corporate's life. I know how much it kills, but still, even in a busy schedule, she has come all the way to here to share the knowledge with us and to share about the insights, thick and thin of about the HR industry and what's happening about in the market and all those things. So generally, book studies will not help us for a very very next level in the corporate life. So these kind of uh, leadership guidance only is going to make us to the next level. And ISSM believes hardly in that, and that's why. When you compare to the all other institution, ISSM is one of the outstanding institutions where we bring every week we bring a very very good chief guest and to guide us and motivate us. And let us see her profile now. And she currently heads the HR function for business unit in TCS, in Tata Consultancy Services. And she has around 16 years of vast experience in human resource function. She has some rich exposure in various gamut of HR functions like talent acquisition, talent engagement, and talent management. These are three pillars, whereas she has covered all the three pillars actually. And she's also a gold medalist and rank holder in the university for the MBA. And all students, you have to learn from her, and because she is also a gold medalist. And she's also the guest speaker for top B schools like IIM, IM Trichy, and other engineering colleges in IITs as well, and all the engineering and management institutions, major institutions. She has delivered a speech, and she has also received various awards and excellence awards and best employer award in her organizations. And she is very very passionate about training and development. That is L&D, learning and development training. And she is also a member of board of studies of management department for a couple of colleges. And very well, ma'am. And on her personal front, she is married and blessed with two sons. And currently, she is happily running her life. And, ma'am, today is going to be one special day for all of us, and we are blessed to have you here. And I hope your guidance and your motivation will take our students to the next level in terms of HR. And thank you so much for your participation, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Ranjit, and thanks, Kaushik, for the wonderful welcome. I'm really excited because something that always excites me is the students' community, because that is where you also learn. Being a speaker, you learn from the students and you try to get their view of things. So I really look forward for this session, and thanks to Bhargavi ma'am and Kadir sir for this wonderful opportunity. Yes. So, see, as an HR, I always feel that sessions can never be a monologue. So it always has to be a dialogue. The basic HR function is to speak, and to make it more interesting. So whenever you go in front of a team of people and say that you're an HR, you're being looked as how enthusiastic you are, how committed you are, and how expressive you are. And that speaks about what an HR person is all about. So I hope you all have a paper and pen with you. Before I get into a presentation, I wanted to start off with a quick activity. Hope all of you have a paper and a pen. Yes.
Yes, everybody.
Okay. So I want you to depict a picture of yourself. It can be any picture as what you are as a person. Okay. So it's basically, for example, if you ask me to draw a picture of myself, I would draw a book. A book is basically depicting that I am an open book. I like to be open. I like to communicate. So that's the picture I would draw about myself. So I wanted you to quickly draw a picture of about yourself. Quick 2 minutes. Take time to think for 1 minute, and your drawing skills is not important. Your thinking skills is more important here. So draw a picture of yourself, and then we will have the quick discussion. It can be anything. You don't have to restrict. Book is an example that I gave, but it can be any picture of yourself that depicts you, basically you as a personality. You're done. You don't have to be a great artist. It can just be a simple sketch of whatever you wanted to draw. Done. I think we are done with the time. So any volunteers who wanted to say what is the picture that you have depicted about yourself?
Ma'am?
Yes?
This is Priyadarshini.
Yeah, Priyadarshini.
I have drawn sun, ma'am.
Okay, what does that sun refers to?
Even though many ups and downs comes, I want to keep rising like a sun.
Wow, awesome. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Ma'am, I am Gomati.
Yeah, Gomati.
I have drawn a tree, ma'am.
Okay.
In that tree, I have written my.
Okay.
I have wrote, ma'am.
Okay, what is it? That tree with roots or without roots?
Roots, ma'am.
Tree with roots. Okay, so you depict yourself as a tree. So you try to branch out in every situation, help people. Is that the meaning of that? Great.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else? 2 more volunteers who can tell me what is the depiction of yourself?
Ma'am, hi ma'am.
Yes.
I'm Ellarasi. I like to draw lamp, ma'am.
Lamp. Okay. So what does that mean? Which means you are giving light to others. You is that the meaning of it?
I
Great.
give light to others, brightness, energy, as well as speed.
Awesome. Okay. One more.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Myself Venkat, ma'am.
Yeah, Venkat.
My drawing is a lion, ma'am.
Okay.
It tells me that I'm a king in my kingdom.
Wow.
I want to be a king in my kingdom.
Great. That's really nice. One more. This is going interesting. So I wanted to hear from one more.
Ma'am, good morning.
Yeah, Deepika.
Ma'am, I am Deepika. Ma'am, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Thank you, Deepika. Yes, Deepika, tell me, what is your picture about yourself?
A smiley emoji, ma'am.
A smiley emoji. Great.
It
Okay.
represents that we have to face all the problems and keep smiling in our face. It gives confidence to us, also the person who is surrounding us, ma'am.
Excellent. Excellent. Awesome.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone else
Good
want to
morning, ma'am.
go?
Good
Yes.
morning, ma'am. Ma'am, can I? This is Lokeshwari Narayanan.
Yes. Yes, Raji. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll draw a picture of my mom, ma'am, where she plays a role model of mine. And she is a very bold woman, how she is struggling and facing the society as a single parent. I will draw my mom picture, ma'am.
Excellent. Excellent, Raji. Yes.
Ma'am, thank you. Very good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sangeeta.
Ma'am, I have drawn unicorn to symbolize I am a goal-oriented ambassador of teamwork, prosperity, and peace. And if there is some any critics as came over me, I am having a magical healing qualities.
Wow, that's awesome. Excellent, Sangeeta. That's really nice.
Thank
Any
you,
other
ma'am.
unique things? Any other unique?
Ma'am,
Uh,
good morning, ma'am. I'm Pavitra.
yeah,
My
Bhadra.
drawing is eagle, ma'am.
Eagle. Okay.
Taking a broad view of world and learning new skills and talent in pursuing my goals and be the highest of high.
Awesome. Awesome, Pavitra. Great. Okay, so why did I ask you to do this activity? You know, I wanted to begin with an activity, but can you tell me why did I ask you to do this? Okay, let me put it this way. How many of you was finding it very difficult to draw a picture, meaning to depict yourself through a picture? Was it easy, or you have to think a lot of, you took a lot of time to think about yourself, what is me in terms of a picture?
It
Is
was
it?
easy, ma'am.
It was easy. Okay.
Ma'am, it
Uh,
was difficult for me, ma'am.
okay. I'm sure most of you, 80% of you would have felt it little difficult because you would have never thought yourself as a picture. Am I right? If you want to depict yourself as a picture, you would have never thought about it of it earlier. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what's more important is the act of self-discovery, right? So you need to discover yourself. You know what kind of a person are you? So that's the important step as a management student. You know, not being an HR, not being a finance, but you have joined an MBA. You have joined an MBA course. So the important aspect in life for you is self-discovery. So this is one kind of an activity where you try to analyze yourself. What kind of a person are you? You know, how can you depict yourself through a picture, right? So maybe you did it in a jiffy. You know, you did it. I just gave you a minute, but you may want to think of it again. Maybe after the session is over, create a big picture of yourself. Where do you stand yourself 5 years down the line? So again, you can depict yourself through a picture. So this is one activity that I wanted you to think as part of the self-discovery activity, right? So that is more important as a management student. So Ranjit, can we go ahead with the presentation? If you can help me in presenting it, Ranjit.
Yes, ma'am. It's been shared now.
Okay. So, I've joined TCS close to 12 years back. Prior to that, after I completed my MBA, I did it from college in Erode district, PKR School of Management Studies. So after that, I joined a company called as Slash Support. Now it is called as Cybernet Software Systems. So my experience is all through being in the HR department. So I am a passionate HR because I keep learning each and every day. I wouldn't say that my 16 years of experience has taught me everything. I would definitely not say that because there is still a lot to learn. This is just a few percentage of what I would have learned as an HR. So the inquisitiveness for learning is what I would say keeps me going, and that is what you as a student should definitely have. The thirst for learning is something that you all should have as a management students. So I've heard very good feedback about you students because the first year and second year students. And I've got a very good feedback that you guys are doing really great and you're very inquisitive, is what I understood even from other speakers. So I'm sure the thirst for the knowledge is something that you should always look forward. Okay. So what do you know about HR? Any quick things about what is it HR is all about? What is your perception of HR?
Collecting human resources for the employment, ma'am.
Okay.
recruiting persons.
Okay. Any other answers? Quick, quick. Let's make it more interactive because
Organizing humans.
organizing humans. Okay, great.
Analyzing the candidates, ma'am.
Analyzing the candidates. Okay.
Being a sales support in the company, ma'am.
Recruitment.
Okay.
Developing
Recruitment.
our employees, ma'am.
It
Okay.
is something recruitment, learning and development. It is something
Learning and
who makes
development.
the workforce in an training for talent,
organization.
performance appraisal, employee engagement.
Okay, great. I could hear many terms. Next slide, Ranjit. So most of you would know what human resource is all about. You think that human resource is all about recruiting people, understanding the staffing requirements, managing the associates, managing trade unions where organization, manufacturing industries have trade unions, dealing with performance issues. So this is what you know all about human resource. So maybe from the IT background, I thought I should give you how does an HR functions in an IT organization, because I think that is where my knowledge and my experience is. So I wanted you to tell you about, so once you complete, if you decide that you want to get into an HR, so you should know what are the various departments that are there in the HR. So where do you need to fit yourself in the HR department? So just this would give you an idea of what are the various functions that are there in the entire, more or less, TCS being the largest organization, the more or less the departments remains the same for even other IT companies. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so this is how the HR in an IT organization is all about. So we think that HR is only about talent acquisition and taking care about people. No, HR is not just talent acquisition and taking care about people. There are details with regards to it. So talent acquisition, as you know, is about recruiting, staffing. So that is important or a major function in an HR. So if you feel that if you have a passion to connect with people, have some analytical skills to understand what kind of people that you can recruit for an organization, this is talent acquisition is one department. And the most of the recruitments that are being done nowadays in the organization is more of digital recruitments. So if you look at it, gone are the days where we used to call, I've been in the phase of all three phases. I would say that while I joined TCS way in 2007, we used to have a mass requirements, we used to call people, we used to give advertisements in papers, we used to call people in thousands, 10,000s, we used to have Saturday, Sunday recruitment drives where people used to stand in a queue. We would need to kind of view their profiles, see if they're eligible for the profiles, conduct interviews, do the offer. So those are days 10 years down the line. And after that, we had kind of an interviews where we started looking at a minimum requirement of people through, we know this is our skill. So we kind of look at people from the various digital sources of recruitment like LinkedIn, through various portals, Naukri, Monster, job seekers. And now it's more of a social recruitment. Again, the days have gone where we started looking at people from the various job portals, but it is now more of a social platforms like the LinkedIn, through various, bring your buddy scheme. So these are the kind of the next stage of recruitment. And the current stage of recruitment is more of niche skill hiring. Niche skill hiring is basically, we know that that for an example, for an organization, this organization has got the required set of people. So we would like looking at people from those set of only specific organizations where our skill matches, the requirement matches with the skill. So that's the kind of the requirement that we do. Again, it's more of a social kind of an social staffing, or it's more of social hiring, right? Social platform hiring. So resource management is again another department in the HR organization where the only people who is being recruited from outside is being done by the talent acquisition team. Resource management, people who are already there in a TCS. TCS is a 450,000 member organization. So what is the role of the resource management? The role of the resource management is to identify, for example, how many people are there in Java who are, who can fit into a specific project. How many people are good at C, C++? How many people are good at digital skills? So the resource management team would identify the existing set of people. What is their capability? What is their competency level? How good are they? What is their experience? So they would kind of map internally the existing set of people. So for example, if we have got 1,000 associates who have still not mapped to any projects, the role of the resource management team is to identify their skills and map them into the respective projects. So that's the role of a resource management. And talent engagement. What do you mean by talent engagement? Can someone say what is the role of a talent engagement department? Any answers? Talent engagement, what is talent engagement is all about? Okay, talent engagement, any answers?
We have to interact with the people and motivate them. It is a kind of encouragement and conducting some events which enlightens them to work more.
Excellent. Yeah. So you got it right. The purpose of talent engagement is after people join the organization. So you need the HR's role is to kind of take care of the associates, understand the need of the associates, understand their grievances if there are any. For example, a new person who joins the organization may not know the various policies and processes that are there in the organization. So, for example, if we have to kind of raise for a new laptop, what needs to be done? So, anything and everything comes to the HR. So, that is where HR is being looked as a very important function in the organization. And talent engagement, as it is taking care of the associates, creating fun at work. So, IT is definitely, I wouldn't say so much of stress, but it involves continuous work, connecting with the customers, understanding client requirements, working with the client. So it is important that associates also need fun at work. So the talent engagement HR is the one who takes care of the fun at work, who takes care of the rewards and the recognitions aspect, who takes care of addressing the queries and concerns of the associates. So that's the role of a talent engagement. Talent development is basically the training department, the learning and development team. And I would say now the most important role that any organization has got to play is the talent development, because it's these changing times after the new normal, after the pandemic situation. The needs of the organizations is changing, the demands of the organizations are changing. So now the talent development team has got an important role to play in an organization. So they need to identify what are the roles what are the competencies that are required. For example, the need for a person is like a Sunray developer, that's basically a skill. So Life Ray developer or a Java architect or a web architect. So we can't find these people in the market. So the role of this team is to train them, get the faculties, train them in those respective skills and keep them ready. So, you don't have to wait for a person to join from outside. The role of the talent development team is to train internally and make them ready resource. So, and also now the important thing that is going on is upskilling and reskilling. So whatever you are currently, you cannot, live the way that you are currently with whatever the required skills that you have. So the role is more important to reskill. Reskill in the sense, if you have to advance yourself, if you want to update yourself with certain skills and competencies, that again becomes the role of the talent development to reskill an associate. And also to upskill, to update themselves. Again, the role of the talent development plays an important role. So this team is a very challenging and very interesting team. Unlike, you just still think that, the role of the talent development is to just train people. No, there are so many things that is happening in the new digital world for the talent development team. So in TCS, this team is playing a very important role to get the skills required by the existing customers. Whatever the requirements that are being posted by the customer, if you don't get those resources from the market, the talent development teams make them readily available by training them, right? And talent management, it's all about performance management. So like how you have your exams after you join a company, you have an appraisal. So till you complete 1 year in an organization, it's called as an anniversary. You have not completed 1 year, so you will be under a probation period. So those anniversary appraisals, we call it as an anniversary appraisal. Or once you complete 1 year, then you have a annual appraisal, which is like every year you would be kind of looked at where do you stand in terms of the organization, your evaluation of your work, how good are you at specific work, what is your manager's feedback, what is your peers' feedback. So there are various systems of appraisals that are there in the organization. So that is the talent management team's role, and they also take care of the promotion process, they take care of the compensation process. So the important role is they will have to see what is the industry standards, what is the industry best practices that are there in the industry. And we will have to always update ourselves, otherwise we will lose our people. So as an organization, we have to keep an eye on what's happening outside our TCS, what is the industry standards, and have set the benchmark and the practices according to the industry standards. So that's the role of the talent management. And health and safety has become a very important role nowadays, because even while maybe I'll tell you how does the work from home situations is playing now, but health and safety, because while you are at work, safety has become more important with a lot of issues that are happening in the outside world. So as an organization, we also need to be responsible to ensure or to take care of the associates' health and safety, because the ergonomics, the posture that we work. So as an organization, we got a health and a safety officer. So for each location, there is a health and a safety officer who will ensure that, these sessions, there are a lot of training sessions for associates to ensure their posture is right while they work at office, to give a lot of quick exercises between work. They come in 15 minutes at office. We'll ask all the associates to assemble in the floor, do a quick 15-minute exercises, a neck exercise, a hand exercise, a wrist exercise, because those are the important things. So the role of the health and safety has become an important role nowadays. And compliance and welfare, as you know, we work in a regulated environment. We work in an environment which is governed by the government regulations, labor laws, IT industry regulations. So this is all something that is governing the rules and regulations of the IT framework. So there is a need for a compliance officer. So people who has got an experience with law, this will be a value addition. So maybe who's got an experience of doing a labor law, and then an MBA would be an added advantage, because looking at someone for this role has to be somebody who has got good knowledge on labor laws and what's happening at the in the industry and the IT regulations and all that. So here the person takes care of the separation formalities, the anything to do with the labor related and the compliance related aspects. So as an organization, we will need to ensure that we bring in 9 hours of work in the organization. So this department or this team frames the rules as what is expected from an IT industry, or what is expected from the labor laws, labor rules. So if you cannot work on August 15th, so if you need to work on an August 15th because of a project requirement, then there are certain rules that the organization should follow. So this team comes out with various laws and regulations and put it forward to the associates. Diversity and culture. Now all the organizations are working globally, especially during this new work from home model. So you have global customers, you work with the global, there are global associates, meaning I sit out of Chennai, but I work with associates who are based out of America, who are out of Australia, New Zealand, Philippines. So it's like global, the organization is global. So it is also important that you need to understand each and every country's rules, laws, and you cannot ask a person at US to work. For example, I'm giving US as an example. You cannot ask anyone at US to work beyond 5:30. So if you're going to ask a person to work at US beyond 5:30, there are certain rules and regulations that the organization need to look at it. So that's more about the diversity aspect, the culture aspect, knowing about it. And diversity, you all know that most of the organizations, you would see only men at the top, nothing to say wrong about it, but the organization also wanted women leaders to be on the top. So it's only 3% of the, at an organization research that's been done, only 3% of the women leaders are there on the top, which means as a CEO or as a head of the organization. So what is the reason? Why is it that women don't scale on to the top? Is it something because they are not capable? No, that's not the answer, because they've got all other roles that come in, as a role of a mother, a role of a wife. At some point of time, women tend to take their career, give it a second chance. They may not be able to put in the required efforts that's required to be on the top. So as an organization, we wanted to ensure that we help the women associates also to scale on the top. So how do we bring in with people who come back from leave after their maternity? We have various policies. We help the women associates to kind of continue their career. There are leave policies which help the women folks to ensure if there is a, if their son or a daughter is in 10th standard and they feel that is the important part in their life, that as a mother, you feel that I need to be with my son because he's doing his public exam, then you have a leave policy, like you can take 3 months of loss of pay. So, these are the team. This is the team which works on these policies, enabling the diversity and culture of the organization. And ethics is something which is very important. No organization would compromise ethics. It's more of values. TCS has got a values. Tata Code of Conduct. TCS is framed, the TCS has got a larger framework that we are part of a Tata group. So as a Tata group, we have got certain ethics, we have got certain values. So, we would need to ensure that we follow those values, those not rules, basically, to make the organization a more ethical organization. So TCS will never compromise something in terms of ethics. So if it is ethics related issues, usually it is always a termination. So ensuring there is no harassment at work in terms of sexual harassment or any other harassment by the manager. So this is the team which takes care of the ethics related part of the organization. So I wanted to give you, you should know once you come into an organization, what are the various roles that you will play. It is not that you always play a role of a talent acquisition person. You would also move into these roles during your life, life term, in terms of your career in an organization. So this is what the HR functions in an IT organization. Moving on. So I wanted to tell you what are the various roles of an HR. Okay, so do you know who Dave Ulrich is? Any answers? Maybe the second year students? Who is Dave Ulrich?
Author.
Any guess?
No idea.
Author, okay. Any other guess? Okay, he's the father of modern HR. So he has come out with certain framework. What should be the role of an HR in an organization? So you need to start looking at HR from just an administrative role to a change agent. So that is very true in the existing, the new work from home model. So we see HR more from, than just doing an administrative work of taking attendance of the associates. Gone are the days where the role of an HR is to ensure associates come into office, you check their attendance, you ensure that their pays are getting it, the associates get their pay on the right time. It is moved from that role to a change agent now. It's more of HR is being looked as a strategic business partner, a strategic value added partner, a change agent in the organization. So that's the scope of an HR. So you don't have to feel, okay, what am I going to do as an HR? Am I just going to work with Excels? Gone are the days of paper. So am I going to work with Excels and just presentations? No, you are an influencer in the organization. Your decisions has got a lot of meanings. You are a decision maker in the organization. So that's where, the role of HR is becoming very important in the coming days, right? So maybe on to the next slide. Okay, so what is required to be a successful HR? So I wouldn't say that, communication, leadership, strategic thinking. No, again, those are the minimum requirements for you to be a successful HR. So if you have to be a successful HR, you definitely need good communication. You definitely need good leadership skills. You definitely need good strategic thinking ability. Yes, those are minimum requirements. But in the current scenario, what is more important in order to be a successful HR, right? So speed. What do you mean by speed? Speed is not doing something very quick. Speed is adapting to the changes. How quick you adapt to the changes that are happening in the organization. So that is very important step. That is more important thing that is required for an HR. Learning. So learning is not just knowing what is happening in the industry. Learning is more of how do you unlearn and relearn. It's like I only know PPT or I only know Excel. So I will not be able to work on any predictive analysis. I will not be able to work on any macro systems. I will not be able to work on a software. Those are the mind blocks that we have. I'm sure everyone would have the mind block to learn anything new. So what is more important is how you unlearn and then how you relearn. So that skill is something very important as an HR. Accountability, because you are responsible for your action. So you have to be ethical. You have to, because you're going to take some decisions as part of an HR. So you would need to ensure that the role of an HR is more accountable. You cannot pass on the thing saying, I didn't know that for any decision. For example, there has been an issue in the organization. You as an HR decided to terminate the associate. And when somebody comes and questions you, why did you terminate the associate? You shouldn't say that, somebody told me to do this and I did this. So you need to be accountable for your action. So that is where the role of the HR is very important. And you need to be credible. What Dave Ulrich has also said, credible activists are someone who build long-term relationships. They build trust with the business leaders. So how quickly you adapt and work with the business leaders, how is the business looking at you? Are they looking at you as a trustable advisor, as a strategic partner? That is where it is more important. And HR is not making the business better. It's all about making the business better and not the HR better. So you would need to work closely with the business, not just as in isolation. So all the decisions that you take will be in sync with your business partner, your business, the customer, basically customer in the sense whom you're working in the organization. And the future of HR, you would definitely like to know, if I have to be an HR, after 2 years down the line, what is it that I would need? So you definitely need to be a digital savvy person, a tech savvy person. Gone are the days where we say HR is only about talking and creating more of interpersonal relationships. No, you need to be a digital savvy person. If you're going to do some analysis and give a data to the organization, you will be looked as a more effective person than one who can just talk things and make them understand. So data always matters. So how you're going to work with the data? So how good are you at analytics? How can you come with various presentations, link a situation or a problem with the help of a data? So that is where the future of the HR is going to be. So advancements in information technology, predictive analysis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are not only for the engineering students. These are the important things that you as an HR should also have. So you shouldn't say, I don't know about artificial intelligence. Only you should ask my friend who is an engineer. I don't know about what cloud computing is all about. No, so you as an HR need to know about this. Only then you will be able to succeed in your role as an HR in any of the organization, IT organizations especially. So, for example, why is artificial intelligence very important in the coming days? So the role of an HR, as I said earlier, will be to answer queries to associates in terms of policies. If somebody joins new to the company, they may not know what are the various policies that are there. So initial days, HR used to take a session of what are the various policies or process, that you have a time frame of 9 to 5 that you need to work in an organization. You have these policies. You have a policy of taking leave policy is there. In terms of advances, if you have to claim any advances, financial advances, there is a policy for that. If you have to do any higher education. So there are various policies that are there in the organization. So HR used to take sessions for them in the last few years. But now, even in TCS, we have come out with the use of artificial intelligence, a chatbot, where it is called as Clara, right? So what happens is, if any new joinee comes and if they have some queries, they have to just connect with the Clara, which is the chatbot basically, and that chatbot will help them answering various queries in terms of policies, in terms of process. And it is also very smart. Sometimes it will say, go connect with your HR, because the Clara doesn't know few answers where it needs some human intervention. So that is when it goes and says, go connect with your HR. And only then those queries come to the HR. So the role of HR is becoming more of adjusting ourselves to these digital technologies and to being a more digital savvy person.